Hello viewers, today we found this bike. It's a folding bike. Let's make a fixie out of it. I've built quite a few fixies in my life, ladies and gentlemen. Mostly in my own style, my very ghetto, bike abusive way of working. Usually, we go with the most crappy parts available, since we are too familiar with negative numbers, but today we had someone providing us with a heap of parts already, like this purple BLB hubbed black wheel, and with this lovely old rusty folding bike. For this bike we wanted to create something rad, a facelift for this old bit of metal. Without too much further ado, let's get straight into the build. Because of Dan's OCD, we first put all parts in a semi-sorted configuration on our working bench. One wheel is assembled already, but we'll have to spoke this black BLB hub into another wheel before putting on these BMX-like tires. We start by cleaning everything off with an old t-shirt and some magic spray. This spray is equally damaging for your lungs as it is not meant to do this job, but it works surprisingly well. We are not going to disassemble the bottom bracket since this is a one evening build. For this build we are not planning on repainting the bike. That is for three well-evaluated reasons. 1. This bike is going to be used on a daily basis. This means it's going to spend lots of hours in bike racks in Amsterdam train station bike parking, where loads of bikes find new owners, so to say, through a not so legal method. Therefore the bike must not look too shiny and precious. 2. Stripping a bike's paint fully is a very time-consuming job, and although Dan likes that kind of tedious work, even that mystery man has its limits. 3. The original paint job is a very funky old school one, and too nice to wipe away. Make sure to always use too much WD-40 if something is stuck, and always carefully work with the appropriate tool when something will not come off. Patience is key. After a short victory celebration, it is time to carefully remove the chain protector, which is very adequately labeled, in case you didn't know what sort of bike you are riding here. Let's remove the rear rack too. Let's remove these fenders too to clean them thoroughly. We'll definitely need to replace this chain. This seat post was removed without any effort too. On this bike, one crank was very loose. We had to wedge another pin in to reconnect it. You'll see that later. Meanwhile, Nina built a rear wheel. She does this really fast, which was actually quite impressive. We then proceeded to straighten the wheel too. Obviously, big shout out to Nina for bringing in the bike. Check out her socials in the description below. This wheel set doesn't look bad at all in my opinion. And now for the most important part of this bike. Suddenly, Dan appeared with a mystery suitcase, in which all sorts of specialized bike tools were hidden, like this hook wrench. It was time for the most enjoyable bit of the evening, getting these BMX tires on. It was literally impossible to get them on. I know I'm not a professional bike builder, but I can tell you, this was tough. Or maybe I'm just weak, not an unthinkable explanation either. Anyway, wearing these special tire applier glasses did not seem to help either. But through the great power of will and many severe Dutch swear words, in the end it was done. Time to start reassembling the mean machine, or so we thought. It seemed that the axle of the front wheel was too wide for the dropouts, so some gentle strokes with the power tool were required to make it all work. Alright, that's way better. Get in there. Apart from the massive wobble, this wheel at least runs very smooth. Time for another magic tool. This one is called the chain whip or chain wrench, depending on where in the world you live. It was designed to tighten the gear on the wheel. Do not forget to add the lock ring on top either. We did kind of forget that because we had none. All wheels back in the frame, reassembling the handlebar, the perfect activity for a Saturday evening. Especially in times of corona. There's not much else to do anyway. You are witnessing the first rolling test. Well, we can conclude it does roll. That's quite a nice accomplishment for a bicycle, isn't it? OG subscribers know that I'm a big fan of gentle hammering sessions. Let's do one now again. One of the last things to do is to cut the chain to length. You may have noticed that the camera work is way different than normal. That is because Nina actually knows how to film stuff, using depth of focus, etc. Thanks for the great shots, Nina. Link in the description. The chain is the correct length, connected up to itself using this special little clippy thingy. The last touch is bringing the tires up to the correct pressure, and that is job done. Let's see how this thing behaves in our very own test facility. I wish you guys could ride this thing, because my first impressions are very good. It's such a smooth ride. The gear ratio with the smaller wheels does not seem to cause discomfort whatsoever. It makes the bike feel very agile and trickable. Well, if you know any good tricks, that is. Also, don't forget that in the Netherlands, students often can use the public transport for free. Taking a bike with you costs extra money, but there's an exception for folding bikes. This bike therefore is perfect for fixie riders who are also broke. Alright, enough playing around here and I will shut my mouth for a bit. We went out on a rainy day to film the final result and we also showed the bike to some other people to see their reaction. Roll the footage.
If I gave you a week, would you keep eating on bottle, lie in bed and pour a drink of me? And let your friends think you're developing a problem, but we're happier than it could be. And if there wasn't always something dragging us down,
That's all for today, ladies and gentlemen. If you liked what you saw, please consider liking or even subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.